Hey Bluebees, did you miss me? Yeah. I know, I missed you guys. It's been like that was about the longest week of my life is between the last video I made and this one. And, what? I mean it hasn't been a week yet. My watch stopped. I can't tell time. So I want to tell you guys some funny stories. As I've said before, I work for a it's a chain department store, discount store type thing. You know the kind of place I'm talking about, just the big box stores that sell all kinds of junk. And of course I work for one of the most famous. They're called so yes, I am very bold to tell you where I work, because I'm not afraid to be fired. So I'm going to tell you a couple stories. The reason I'm telling two is, well, because they're both good, and also because one of them is very short. The shortest one happened today. I was walking through my hardware department. I work in hardware, and this lady came up and she says, "Excuse me, do you have S-hooks?" And I didn't really understand her at first. And I said, "I'm sorry, what? Do you have S-hooks?" And I'm like thinking, okay, S-hooks. Yeah, I'm sure we do, but I'm like, okay, they can be used for all kinds of things. I didn't know specifically what she wanted it for, so I said, what are you going to use it for? Or, no, I think first of all I said, I don't remember exactly what I said, but she said, it's a hook, and it's shaped like an S. Like, okay, yeah, and what are you going to use it for? I'm going to hang things on them. Is there anybody else here that knows where they are? And I was like, well, ma'am, I'm just trying to find out what you're going to do with them so that I can tell you what department to look in, or I can go help you find it if it's in our department. And she walks away in a huff, and I'm like, okay. I mean, this is the kind of thing, when people are being vague, this is the kind of questions I ask of everybody. I had one guy, okay, I guess I'm going to tell three stories, because I had one guy the other day saying, I need some plastic. Well, it turns out he wanted like a plastic tub to, keep clothes in, but he's like, I want some plastic. And I'm like, what do you want the plastic for? Well, I have to put things in it. Okay, do you want plastic bags to put sandwiches in? I mean, if people aren't going to tell me specifically what they want and what they need it for, then I have to start hunting and pecking and trying to understand. So anyway, another story. This is not the same kind of thing. Look, I still have paint on my hand. I just realized that. Speaking of white paint, I had this guy come up to me yesterday. Yeah, it is paint. This guy come up to me yesterday, and let's see, how did that start? He's like, "Can I get some white paint?" I'm like, "You're sure? We have kinds." And so he's looking around, and he's like, "Well, this says gloss, this says satin, this says flat." I'm like, "Yeah. So, which kind is going to work better for you?" "Well, I don't know. What's the difference?" I said, "Well, here we have this, sheen chart that shows the differences, flat up here and glossy down here, and, and the semi-gloss and satin are in the middle." And he's like, "Well, which one's going to work on my wall?" And I said, "Well, any of them will work on your wall. You can use any of these on your wall." "Oh, well, I mean, which one's going to work on my wall?" I was like, "I don't know." "Well, you're the paint guy." And I said, "Well, what do you have on your wall now?" He's like, "I don't know. You're the paint guy. You're supposed to figure that out." I said, "But I've never been to your house, so I don't know what your walls look like." So finally, as I showed him the sheen chart, I'm like, okay, is it flat? Is it glossy? Is it between? He's like, I can't tell the difference. And I said, well, glossy is a lot shinier, and sheen is a lot, it's just very dull. They look the same to me, and I'm like, okay, so what difference does it make? So he's like, I just need something that's going to match what I have already. And so he finally is like, picks up a gloss, and he's like, is this white? And I'm like, that's white. It says white right there. And he picks up a flat. Is this white? It's like, that's white. It's like, well, does it matter? I mean, is it still going to look white whether it's flat or glossy? I said, no, it's still going to look white. So he finally decided on, I don't remember, satin, I think. Because he said, well, what do most people like? I said, most people seem to like satin or semi-gloss. All right, I want satin then. You know, and so I started to like walk away. He's like, wait a minute, I have another question. I'm like, okay. Thinking, is it going to be as retarded as your first one? So he's like, I need some stains. We walked over what a stain is. I said, okay, you know, here we go. We have, you know, different types. And he's like, well, what color do I need? I was like, I don't know. What are you staining? Well, chair. Okay. Is it like a light colored wood, dark colored wood? I mean, do you want it to look dark? Well, I have to paint the bottom. So, all right. It's like, what do most people use? I said, it really depends on, you know, what color you want the bottom of the chair to be, in case somebody actually looks under the chair to see what color it is. And he's like, well, I need to make sure I get the right color. I said, well, what color is it now? He's like, well, it's wood. I was like, okay. I said, so what color is the rest of the chair? Oh, it's like a dark brown, you know, like a dark brown. I was like, okay. Maybe you'll be happy with a dark walnut or maybe a red mahogany. And he's like, are they dark? And I said, well, they're right here. Like, well, is that what they're going to look like? I said, that's pretty darn close. So I think he ended up with a red mahogany. And I'm like, wow. I'm not a mind reader. If I was a mind reader, I wouldn't be making what I make at... Anyway, I need to get busy subscribing to some more people and letting them know about the new channel. So